My first question is, do you believe in Joe Hendry? And I want to know what do you want to see him accomplish or anything else in mind during the TNA and NXT crossover?
I've been liking those remixes to the entrances he's been doing. I've been telling Ian that I'm like, dude, there was an opportunity we missed, and it was just due to an injury. Bobby Roode with Joe Hendry.
Yeah,
Battle,
facts.
battle, battle the entrances.
That would have been a great one right there. Battle of the Entrance, Bobby Ruth, Joe Hendry. And Bobby Ruth is a former what? He's a former what? A former TNA wrestler. It would have been perfect. I feel like they could still factor it in. It's not like he had to wrestle the guy. Hey, we could get at the Royal Rumble.
Hmm.
I think his injury is what keeps him from being able to do that.
He
Well,
got
he did.
cleared.
Bobby
Rude got
Ruth.
cleared. Yeah, he got cleared like last year.
But regardless, or what was it? Because it is a neck injury, but I feel like there's ways of him still. I mean, he could still get you
I mean,
make
the
the
last I
entrance.
heard, it was the same. It was similar to Big E's that he says the fusion hasn't completely.
Oh wow.
So that's
I
the reason
didn't.
why
Oh.
Hmm.
maybe he's medically cleared to come to work out like he wanted to, but I don't know if he because even right now, Big E is finally being allowed to work out to this level he wanted to.
Hmm.
Uh, so maybe that's what he got cleared on.
But I think Bobby Ruth is a type of person because, like, yeah, I'm not saying if he does, he can make a return at the Royal Rumble, and he could do something like a funny skit with Joe Hendry where it's like, oh, don't toss me. He could toss himself out. You know, he could just come in and do the glorious, and then just all right, I'm out and live. Just throw himself over.
Just make sure when you're in the UK, you don't say that tossing thing around. You know,
Oh, pause. So. But for me, what I want to see with Joe Hendry, obviously, a world title shot, win it, drop it the next, because obviously their shows are taped. So win it at the pay-per-view, drop it the next taping, or the next pay-per-view. I feel like because if Joe Hendry does not become any type of champion, um, the only problem is he was already a digital media champion for TNA. So just to win that title back doesn't mean anything. And plus Top Dollar, he's doing fantastic as champion in my book. Um, Andre disagrees. Um, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks a lot, Andre. Oh, Joe Hendry, like you're doing all this for what? Why are you pushing him up? You did the whole NXT thing for him. He was in the main event. Cool, awesome. Now he's in your company. Is he gonna be world champion in your company? Are you gonna put him in the main event? Is he gonna be in the main event Bound for Glory? Or is he gonna be in the pre-show? What's going on? Because if he's not gonna become world champion, what are you doing? But at the same time, I don't want to see Dolph Ziggler, Nick versus Joe Hendry at Bound for Glory. I don't want to see a babyface versus babyface at Bound for Glory, unless it was just, like Josh Alexander or something like that, but he turned heel. So, you know, it's something like that. But I'm very excited with what's going on with the X Division and the tag team with the Rascals and also with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace doing a fantastic job. Man, hey, ever, who made that right call? That award show breakout.
Oh
What was
yeah.
it?
Breakout
Embrace for
wrestler.
Impact.
Oh,
Embrace
brace for
for
impact.
Impact. I did Embrace for Impact for our award show. Was it this year's or for last year's? But
I
the
think last
Embrace,
year's.
it was the last year's award show. But I did a Embrace for Impact, basically look out for. And I said look out for Jordan Grace. And what's she doing right now? What's she doing right now? She's the face of TNA, the face of NXT. So damn, I call that one right.
Oh yeah.
I call that one right. So you're welcome, Jordan Grace. So, but Jordan Grace, I am curious. Who do you guys think is gonna face her at the Chicago at NXT's live show?
whoever CM Punk announces, because I think that's the purpose of his tease.
Mm. So you think CM Punk is gonna call out or introduce Jordan Grace's challenger?
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
I think he's there to set. I think obviously he's there for. I feel like I don't. I had a feeling for that too, but because of what just happened with Drew McIntyre. When is this NXT show? Is it before or after Hell in a Cell?
Before
No, Hell in a
October
Cell is October
2nd is
5th.
NXT, and Hell in a Cell is October 15 or something.
Well, because if it's before, then it's probably to continue building up the feud with Drew McIntyre for the Hell in a Cell. If it's after, then I think it's gonna be something what you just said, Andre, where it's like, oh, I'm just here just to obviously sell ticks. I'll get draw views and then try to like introduce the next
Because
star.
NXT is October 1st and Bad Blood's October 5th. So it's the week of.
Oh,
October 5th, yeah.
so there's a chance that Drew McIntyre may show up at that NXT show as well then to build up the feud for Hell in a Cell.
He might just kick him in the face right then and there.
Yeah.
Like what announcement? He gets Claymore right in the
Claymore
face.
right in the freaking face.
I mean, maybe you have The Rock's daughter afterwards saying that, well, as the announcement was going to continue with, here is, and then her opponent.
But who would it be? Who would you want it to be?
I mean, obviously the fans are over here teasing that it's going to be AJ, but it's not. He's Punk's already made it clear that she hasn't been training. That training video she did was from years ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, CM Punk's hair was what through was
Blonde.
like no triple CM Punk's hair was like 2014. I was like, yeah, it was I can't it was like long, messy kind of stuff. It was 2014 CM Punk hairstyle. It was like, oh, it was obvious it was an old video. When you see it, somebody just went down and through his IG and then resurfaced it, the things that people do in their free time. So but for me, I would like to, instead of having another NXT star facing Jordan Grace, I would like another TNA star, maybe like an old school TNA, like Angelina Love, Gil Kim. Because this is their version of Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage at Rampage. But the problem is none of the guys were TNA. They were fighting over a TNA title, but none of them were signed to TNA. So this is gonna be very cool seeing Jordan Grace defending the title on the NXT show. So live show in front of the Chicago fan because they're gonna be at the Allstate Arena, so it's gonna be cool. So that's what I would like to see instead of another NXT. But to be honest, any NXT, what they've been doing so far has been great. I would, Alex Hammerstone showed up. I'm waiting on the system. Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers. So I feel like, the fact that Hammerstone showed up at NXT and Rosemary, it's just a matter of time that Josh Alexander and the system are going to be there as well. So, and then we can't forget about the Rascals. So, any other questions? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is not part of the podcast. What else ever?
I want to know. I want to know everyone's thoughts on WWE Raw going to Netflix and SmackDown going to USA Network.
Get ready to change your schedules, boys, because you're not going to be seeing Raw for 3 hours anymore after October. You'll be going to SmackDown for 3 hours if you go to the next show.
Oh, wow.
So just let your bosses know at work, hey, I don't need Mondays off as much anymore. I need Fridays off now. Whatever.
Well, I work in the morning anyway, so that works out for me. But yeah, like no, Mondays are gonna change. It's gonna be weird. Here's the thing: I'm not gonna be watching Raw. I don't know when I'm gonna get Netflix, and then if I do get Netflix, I'm probably gonna watch it on Tuesday.
Oh, so that was one of the things I was gonna mention. Peacock's only got that contract for another year or two left. So in the meantime, what's going to happen with the WWE library? Does it go directly to Netflix? Does TKO own it and they decide what to do with it?
Oh, they're gonna get a lot more money. They're gonna get like somebody to just be like $10 billion for
because I kind
a
of
max.
I want the library out of Peacock already. I'm sick and tired of watching commercials to watch anything in the WWE library that I used to watch in the network for just $10 with no
Yeah.
commercials. And I don't want to be paying Peacock extra money to watch feed that gets constantly glitched.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the network didn't glitch. I mean, maybe the launch, yes, but it didn't glitch that much.
Yeah, it was like the first
We just
year.
had bad internet. That's all.
Yeah, it was still getting. It was something new. It had to take time to adjust. But I will say, yes, I agree with you on the Peacock. They gotta leave there. I feel like Peacock was the horrible choice. I don't know why they ever went there in the first place.
It's owned by NBC. They had a long-term friendship with them, so they're like, "Hey, might as well go to you guys."
It's not NBC. I mean, it's just Peacock in general.
Just
You
the
know,
app
yeah,
itself.
it's just the app itself. It could have been on Hulu. You know, it could have been on Disney Plus. It's just Peacock. Peacock is just the worst streaming service. It's the worst one out of there. Of all the streaming service.
The only thing I really watch on there is just the Fresh Prince remake, whatever it is,
Mhm.
and
Bel
then
Air.
Yeah, and then WWE, right?
and then Yellowstone.
Yeah,
But now
Yellowstone.
it's on YouTube TV, so I don't have to worry about watching on there
Oh,
anymore.
what if YouTube took it? That'd be crazy. If it's on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube? Yeah,
Yeah, YouTube
I could
TV.
see
Like,
that.
hey, let's because
What, Yellowstone?
they do lock the library,
No,
right?
WWE.
Oh,
Like how TNA Insiders is, but like WWE.
well, then we'd all be broke because we can't get rid of our YouTube TV accounts.
Oh yeah, yeah. We should.
That's the reason why everybody wants to see the Netflix that can get rid of YouTube TV.
That's true. You got what else ever?
Your thoughts on Shane McMahon and AEW working together? I want to know if you honestly think this is a business matter or is it a storyline booking angle?
Damn. It's tough to say just because with the John Moxley threw me off and Nigel McGuinness, Desmond Wolf, that kind of threw me off because I thought, oh, maybe Shane McMahon is working with the AEW, but as a actual worker, superstar, basically wrestler, whatever, a talent. There you go, a talent, not in the business sense. But then Nigel came out and challenged Bryan Danielson, so that threw me off a lot and threw off a lot of people. But if it's an angle with Nigel is doing oh, this is my opportunity to kind of like rub it in. And this is kind of like what the Miz did with Cena when Cena got taken out by the Big Show after during his last man standing match against Edge. The Miz kept calling out John Cena on Raw. If that's what Nigel is gonna do, call out Bryan Danielson, and then do the 10 count. Tell the ref, hey, count to 10, and I get the win to build up to an actual match, then great. Awesome. Obviously, we're not going to know until that day comes. But that's the thing that threw me off when Nigel did that. Because I thought the whole John Moxley and everything, that's Shane McMahon right there, attacking Bryan Danielson. But then Nigel threw me off.
Yeah, why was Nigel there? Isn't he a commentator? Why is he wrestling all of a sudden?
That's what we're all trying to figure out.
Because they pulled Darby Allin off the match and they gave it to Nigel McGuinness. Like, why did he pull off Darby Allin? He's not even injured. He just pulled him
Again,
off.
it's unless it's to make it safer for Bryan Danielson. But again, it's like, but why do you need to have Bryan Danielson wrestling unless you're trying to build it up to an angle, which is most likely the case. But if Bryan Danielson does show up and wrestle, then you just made a fool of everybody. Because it's like, why couldn't we just get Darby Allin versus Bryan Danielson? And why couldn't we get the turn that night then? Why couldn't John Moxley just turn that night?
Because this is where the best wrestle.
Exclamation point. Bam. Done.
And that's probably why Shane is involved, because he has to actually prove that overly used statement, overly used and poorly described statement. You know, you would have a few good matches here and there, and sure, Dave Meltzer will give us stupid ass stars to anybody he wants, but they've pretty much
that
become
guy.
they've pretty much become pointless at this point. Dave Meltzer's star ratings are at this point propaganda stars.
Everybody has to start ratings. Why do I know? There's just like there's so much. There's too many people that care about his opinion. It's like you have your own opinion. What's your rate of the match? Why did you enjoy it? He can't even explain it.
You know, a good person that has criticism of that, and I know people will always say, "Oh, he's old school." It's Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah, Cornette's
Well,
fire.
a good
Cornette.
explanation was WrestleMania pandemic. When people when the guy that does the show with him asked him, "What did you think about the Cena and Bray Wyatt match?" As what? That was a special challenge. As what? It's not a wrestling match. So what do you want me to rate it at in order to give you a rating?
Yes.
What are we measuring this as? Because it wasn't a wrestling match.
It wasn't.
If you ask me with opinion in the wrestling match, I'm not going to give you one because it wasn't a wrestling match. Was it good?
Did you enjoy it? Yes. Yeah.
But it wasn't a wrestling match. So how do you want me to rate something that isn't what it is? But here's the stupid stars, like a freaking black ninja just throwing ninja stars over here and 5 stars, 5 stars, higher stars. No, I'm not going to give WWE anything beyond the Cena and Punk a 5-star match.
And when he went into like 6 and 7 stars, like, okay, this is ridiculous. It's a 5-star rating, not a 5.6 or a 6.3.
Is it based on 5 stars or is it based on 10, which is still 5 when you divide it out?
When me and Ever have discussions of when we do rate the shows, match cards, and we'll come and it's like we know, oh, it feels right when I give it a 7, a 8. It just feels right. But me and Ever could be like, and Ever knows this for sure. Ever, the match itself, 5 stars. But this is what I gave it 2 more stars. The ending, or this, or that. This, like I tell Ever details of why I gave it this rate. I'm not this rate. I'm like I'm adding it myself while I'm talking to Ever of what I enjoyed this match. Where this adds another star to it. This adds a half a star. Okay, well I'm done adding stars. This is where I'm left off at. I'm left off with 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever the case is. So, but at least we could go into detail with Dave Meltzer is just like, bro, what? I don't get your system. And also, why are there so many people that care? Where it's like, once again, you have your own system. You have your own race system. What did you enjoy about this match? But all I hear is Dave gave this match that star, this star, that star, this star. What is your star? What is your rate? I want to hear your opinion. I don't want to hear your opinion of somebody else's opinion. It just doesn't make sense. And also, why does he care so much about Will Ospreay?
The same way he cared about Kenny Omega 7 years ago. He hyped up Kenny to be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
And then once he got to AEW, how the hell that worked out? Shit. Kenny Omega, great worker. Don't get me wrong, fantastic worker. But that guy was just Tony. Let's just say Tony Khan was not the guy to build him up to be a main eventer. I would have trusted Vince Russo with Kenny Omega to book him as a main eventer. Then Tony Khan.
Wow.
Because that was garbage. Come on, bro. That was garbage. Regardless, it was during the pandemics. And here's the worst, Kenny Omega was hurt. So why is your champion hurt? Why are you letting a hurt champion still carrying a title that he's been holding for almost 200 days already? Just have him drop the title.
It's like the Goldberg title win.
Which one?
The world title, the one we were
the Triple H
earlier. Yeah.
Oh.
once you finally put the title on Omega, then you put all the belts on him. It's like, this would have been great 7 years ago.
Oh yeah,
this would have been great at the height of his popularity
Mhm.
when he was in New Japan.
When he became the leader of New Japan.
No, not even then.
No, and I feel like that would have worked out at that time.
At the peak of his popularity was when he was facing both Okada and having the rivalry with Y2J. All Out was
Damn, that late.
All Out was the last of the how great he was. Then you brought him to AEW, and it's like,
You're not that great.
well,
a lot of Tony's booking is based off Melzer's ratings. Like, oh, this guy got 5 stars. I'm gonna put him on my show, and then
some of those matches did deserve those ratings.
Yeah,
but it's like now he overdid it. Then he overdid the ratings, and then he tried saying that every match on AEW was a 5. Like, man, really? We have the right to criticize. We have the right to disagree here, bro.
At this point, you just do 10. You know, at this point, just do 10.
But then he'll do 15 out of 10 or 20 out of 10. It's like he keeps doing it, you know.
It's never gonna end. But I never really thought. I don't think we ever answered Ever's question about Shane working with the company. So
I was saying that I think he is going to be just. I don't think he's in wrestling like he was with Vince. I think after that, the MCL or ACL damage that he did at WrestleMania. I mean, he looked large still. Looked big still from that photo shoot, but maybe Shane is acknowledging his age, that even though he's in good shape, he's just not in wrestling shape anymore. And
but he could still be a screen character.
Maybe he's realized he could be the gorilla guy, the guy that Tony fails to be. But maybe he's also going to start looking for an Undertaker backstage, because that's what that entire organization is missing. A freaking lock.
Yep.
Everybody's an EVP. Everybody's an EVP there. So, if Tony Khan is Jerry Reinsdorf, he's too busy trying to make friends and not really running the business. Post Jordan Reinsdorf, that's what he is.
And then you got the Young Bucks, who
are Jerry Krause.
Yep. So, all right. Well, anything else you want to say, Ever?
And one last question: does anyone have any early predictions for Bad Blood?
I want Drew McIntyre to win, but I think Punk is gonna get the W. Liv Morgan get the W, and Finn Balor better get the W. And it makes sense. I feel like Judgment Day should get the W. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, it's too early for them to get the W, because if they get the W, then it's like, where do you go from here? You know, try to take the title back from Rhea Ripley. It's like, should have never dropped the title in the first place. I don't know what else matches. I think that's it for now, right?
Yeah, that's only one's announced.
We don't have a determined yet for the WWE title.
Well, that's because it's going to be defended in a steel cage match.
But that's on SmackDown.
Yeah. So, and then I feel like that's making up for the Hell in a Cell. So there's a chance that the WWE title may not even be defended at Bad Blood.
And this is why I am kind of not happy with Bad Blood, because it looks like they're going to eventually put. It's not so much Cody in the Hell in a Cell. I think it's going to be more of Roman and Solo, and it's too soon to have that match in Hell in a Cell, because it's supposed to be a rivalry ending, not rivalry continuing.
Right, 2 matches.
Unless it's going to be a multi-tag match in the Hell in a Cell, but then again, that's still like okay. So if Cody has nothing to do, then it's like, what was the whole point of having him in the commercial?
He's a host, I guess.
That would be stupid, isn't it? Oh, because it's in Atlanta, right?
Champion.
Yeah,
man. See, this is probably why they should have had Solo versus Cody in the Hell in a Cell, not in a steel cage. Because at least that rivalry could have ended. It had enough behind it to end in that.
So let me get this straight. The first time in a long time, we have a premium live event with matches that would be perfect to have Hell in a Cell matches. Not just one, not just two, but 3 Hell in a Cell matches. But no, they decided that no more Hell in a Cell. We're gonna have Bad Blood instead, and we're only gonna have one Hell in a Cell match. But yeah, the other Hell, if they are gonna have a second Hell in a Cell match, um, Solo versus Cody. Uh, I know there's a lot of people disagree. Andre, you disagree with me on this one. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. You felt like it was too soon. Ever, what do you think about that one? Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley inside Hell in a Cell.
Nah, too soon.
Too soon. Damn.
Yeah, or save it for like I don't know, not Hell in a Cell. Do something else.
If it was to be, if the last Raw was to be, or if the last Monday night would be a Raw night, that would be the night to pull the trigger. And the year with the main event being a girls' Hell in a Cell, and then it's a rivalry. So
When's
then
the last time there was a last man standing match or a last woman standing match? Has there ever been a last woman standing match?
The one I remember, and it's my favorite one, obviously is the one I remember, Charlotte versus Becky,
I feel like that
Evolution.
was Charlotte and Sasha would have done, because they were the ones that were doing the first ever everything together.
No, but that's not the first. I'm not saying that was the first one, but I'm saying that's the last one I could remember. That was in
What year was that?
2018.
I'm saying with the back and forth they were doing, I felt like that's something they would have been part of.
Oh,
That's the only one I could think of that might have been last man standing or last woman standing.
Yay!